bet you I can go up just a little bit higher. Okay. Hey everybody, this is Jeffrey Jansen. Give me 1 second. I want to make sure everything's running okay. Alright. We are all running now. So, let me bring this down just a little bit further. Okay. Now, there's two different cameras I got going on right now. One is my bigger camera. One is the live feed. This page that you've been invited to, and today's just the test night for it. The page you've been invited to is a training page for people on my team or for people throughout our company. I invited some people that were not on time that are friends of mine. The reason why is because I like to be critiqued, and also the more I do it, the more I practice. Even, like I said, some of the most expert people have to practice sometimes. And so this particular page, this particular training, I'm going to start out with our normal everyday plan, okay? But then we're going to actually do things like go over how to get into it, what the associate is, what the member is. You know, we'll go more into detail. Tonight, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the first one over this, okay? And what I'm going to do also is I'm going to set my clock so that you guys can all see. I actually do time myself, okay? And like I said, a lot of times I tell everybody that they need, whenever I ask anybody to do this, I was like, do you have about 15 minutes, okay? You may or may not be interested. I'm sorry, I'm hanging this on my thing over here. I'll just put it over here. I actually say, do you have about 15 minutes? You may or may not be interested. It's something important I want to tell you. Those 3 lines are actually part of a training, and I'll teach you that here in just a minute, okay? So when I push this buzzer, I'm going to take 15 minutes and go over, you know, just the regular membership. Everything we have, what we have, okay? The only people that are going to be on this right now are people that I've invited to it or people that have requested and I gave them permission, okay? That's why this is a private area. But it's also going to be open to like our everywhere from Jeff Bell, our CEO of Legal Shield, to our team captains, to team leaders like Brian Carruthers, Alan Roman, you know, Rich Ellerman, stuff like that. My whole focus, though, is to have a community to where a lot of people, when they come in, they don't get everything. They're not listening to everything right away. They assume, or they have these other ideas. And the whole idea is everybody needs to be told the exact same thing. And we always need to be upfront, truthful, and honest with everybody. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go over our membership and the game plan. And I'm going to stop at the membership. We're not going to go into the associate agreement, just so I'm going to stop there and then take questions and stuff. And I'll turn the thing around and see if there's any questions. So we'll go ahead and start. Okay. So first thing I'd like to do is I want to point out, and you guys got to make this your own, okay? So in other words, have you ever signed a contract or document? Okay, had a landlord-tenant issue, been overcharged or treated unfairly. All right. Have you ever received a traffic ticket, been concerned about your child's identity, been a victim of identity theft or data breaches, had a real estate transaction? Have you ever needed your will prepared or updated? Okay. Bring up other things. You know, have you had complications with dealing with people in real estate with the coronavirus? Have you signed like military paperwork? Has your cell phone company, you know, did you ever sign a contract with a cell phone company? You know, make it yours, okay? Make it yours. And then go in and make sure that people understand. Look, we are part of a new generation, okay? You guys have heard of Airbnb. You've heard of the meals program, to where you get on your phone, Diner Dash, where they actually bring food to you, okay? You've heard of Amazon's app, okay? You've heard of Uber and Lyft. They all have apps. And what have they done? They have changed the entire marketplace on how business is done. Nobody thought these little areas could ever be changed. I mean, how are you going to change taxi service, right? Airbnb, how are you going to change the hotel industry, you know? So that's what Airbnb did. You know, Uber, Lyft, change the tax. How'd they do it? They did it with a mobile app, okay? And so now everybody on their phone has a thing that's a mobile app. Legal Shield did the exact same thing. We took this ancient, really, really old concept of going all the way back to the Greek Romans, the Persians. You can get way back to how far the legal system goes back, right? And what we did was we updated it for the first time and ever. And we put it on an app. Now, it's not just an app. It's a person's personality. It's who they are. The app signifies a person now, okay? In other words, we have all these apps on our phone, But what can a Legal Shield app do? Well, that's easy. Now, since we're no longer on the lawyer time, the lawyers are on our time. We can get everything at the touch of a button. So we disrupted an innovation, simpler, easier, more affordable. Okay? That's what we started with. So, what do? Well, we've been doing this since 1972. We protecting 4.4 million lives in the United States and Canada with dedicated networks of quality law firms in all 50 states and all Canadian provinces and territories. What's that mean? That means North America and Canada is covered. Okay? This right here is the meat and potatoes of who we are. And to me, I wish I had this years ago when I was in the Marine Corps. Okay? Now, the reason why I say that is this. You know, personal legal advice. Okay? How many times have we actually went to our friends, family, relatives, and we're like, man, I got a question. Do you know anything about this? We did that because a lawyer, we never think about lawyers anymore because they're too expensive. You know, man, every time I call that lawyer, they're going to charge me just for the phone call. Legal Shield changed that. So now, our members can call on personal legal advice unlimited amount of times on unlimited questions, and the lawyer is going to call them back within 4 business hours. How is that right there not already changing, you know, how the legal system works? You don't just get a paralegal, you get a lawyer that's an expert in the field, okay? We make letters and phone calls on your behalf, all right? Hey, maybe something might be better if they got a letter from your attorney and have the law firm's a letterhead. Or maybe if the lawyer called up for whatever situation, be like, hey, such and such would like such and such. Well, oh my gosh, you're having a lawyer. How do you afford a lawyer? They're not looking at you like, wow, they're taking this very seriously. When you have a lawyer, people take things more seriously, okay? We will review up to 15 contracts or documents of any personal situation in any given month, okay? And when I say contract or documents, now I know, but it's not limited to. Now think about it. You guys push that button on your phone. That was a contract or document. Maybe you had a plumber come in your house and they made you fill out some paperwork. That's a contract or document. How about your insurance or a loan or a guarantee? I could go into how many different things we could sign in the course of a day. But you got to understand, when I was in the military, I had to sign all kinds of paperwork. And I would have loved to have had a lawyer looked over. When you go to college, okay, how about for loans, GI bills, stuff like that? Maybe you're not military. Maybe you're just somebody that's now going for that corona stuff, but you got to read all the paperwork. Or maybe they send you some paperwork you got to read over so you can sign, but you don't know what to sign. These are all good instances of contracts or documents, okay? And any contract or document, as long as it's of a personal nature, 15 in any given month, all right? Now, the next thing is going to be IRS audit assistance. You know, you get 50 hours of IRS audit assistance. Now, civil trial defense, that's trial and pre-trial, okay? You get 60 hours from day one, and every year we're going to give you another 60, and we're going to keep rolling it over and rolling it over. So every year, just in case you're named in a lawsuit, somebody files a lawsuit against you, you're named in a lawsuit, you're covered. I don't know what it could be. It could be anything. Nowadays, we are in a sue-happy society where people want to sue people. And the reason why they do it is because they think you're going to stay out of the court. Why? Because you ain't got a lawyer. Can't afford a lawyer. So guess what? They're going to scare you with one. Well, guess what we did? We're going to scare them back. Guess what? We're ready to go to court. 60 hours up front. Next year, you get 120. Year after that, and year after, all the way up to 300 hours. And guess what? It rolls over the following year. Okay, next thing. Family or domestic services. After 90 days, since we have no contracts, co-pays, termination fees, anything like that, basically we're going to give you a gift. We're going to be like, look, you've been with us now for 90 days. We're going to do uncontested name change, uncontested adoption, uncontested divorce, uncontested annulments, okay, uncontested separation, okay. We'll even, in some cases, do prenups for you. And basically what you're going to do is we're going to help you with it. Now, if it is a contested, it's going to cost more. But at least we're going to do it at a discounted rate. But if it's uncontested, all you're doing is taking care of the court costs and the filing fees, okay? Which no lawyer will ever take care of court costs because that deals with the courthouse, not a lawyer. All right, next thing is our emergency access. Now, this one's awesome because if you have an emergency situation, you have a lawyer on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, ready to go, coherent, ready to go at a moment's notice, and is going to answer in 3 rings for all emergency situations. You know, I used to know people all the time in the military, and everybody's got a lawyer, right? But no, actually they don't. They're going to go out and find one, and they're going to tell you they had a lawyer. You actually have a lawyer now, on call, ready to go. I could call up a lawyer right now if it's an emergency situation, and I got a lawyer on call right now. That's what's awesome about it, for all emergency situations. If it's not an emergency, you can call them Monday through Friday, okay? Now, why is that great? Now, this takes me into the next one. Traffic-related situations, all right? So you're going down the road. Maybe you're going a little too fast. Maybe you parked in the wrong spot. Okay, speeding ticket, parking ticket, traffic ticket. We don't know. Maybe you got one of those red light cams. Who knows? Okay, any type of traffic ticket, as long as it's not criminal, you know, basically, we're going to handle for you. And when we handle it, all you got to do is call up the law firm, let them know what's going on. Bam, we're going to handle it for you. Next, we will prepare your will for you with a push button on your phone. The will's actually on your phone. But in some people, even though it's on your phone, you can do everything and it gets done in about 3 or 4 minutes, believe it or not. You can also get it done on your computer, okay? Because we actually send you that. Or we'll mail you this stuff. Or you can get a packet from me or any other Legal Shield associate because we carry the packets. Then you just mail them to the law firm. The law firm will go over it. They're going to call you up to see if you need any help with anything or any changes at no charge to you. And whatever changes, they're going to type it all up. They're going to send it to you. You're going to look it over. If you're happy with it, guess what? You go over and have it notarized. You go over to like the library and something like that. It doesn't cost anything that at the library to have it notarized, or maybe you have a friend that's a notary, and you have it and you put it away in a safe area. And then they're going to send you the healthcare power of attorney. Same thing there. Once it's done, you put it away, and you don't pay anything for that except your monthly membership, okay? And that's the will, living will, healthcare power of attorney, and financial power of attorney. Now, why is this a good thing? Because you're getting things that we always say we put off till tomorrow, done today, okay? Because when it gets put off tomorrow, it gets put off tomorrow, and then it never gets finished. It never gets completed. And we run into that a lot. Okay, next thing is a little important because a lot of people do not... Don't ask me that. I'll just hold this. Okay, next thing here. Yeah, you guys can all laugh at me. That thing's been falling on me all day. All right. All right, so we'll just do that right there. Is identity theft. Okay? Identity theft is a very big problem in today's day and age, okay? And the reason why is because people, they're looking for and they're buying your social security numbers, your driver's license, your passport number, stuff like that, okay? We have a company that's called Identity Shield, okay? Which are private investigators that watch everything here on the right-hand side or left-hand side as you're looking at it. You know, we're going to monitor all that because these are things that you're responsible for that you can monitor. Now, the other side, like just loans, credit cards, banks, social media, stuff like that, that's where you have a big conglomerate that has your information and they get hacked into maybe they get breached. We've all heard of the Equifax breach. We've all heard of all the different big breaches that went on, okay? And your information then was taken and sold. And since nobody really understands how identity theft works, they just know that it can get you in a lot of trouble, okay? We have private investigators that are watching all this also. So in other words, you got private investigators monitoring yourself 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And if you do, you get an alert on your phone. You can go look if it's you or if it's somebody else. And if not, we go to work putting it back the way it was, okay? Now, the next part of that is with Identity Shield, it's a comprehensive restoration program, okay? So in other words, we'll offer a $25,000 protection policy, okay. But here's the key to this. Whatever breach happens, whether somebody, how many of you guys have had like today alone, I had a person saying they were my aunt trying to ask me to friend me on Facebook, okay? That was just today, just a little bit ago. And I called up my aunt and I was like, no, it's not me, Jeff. Well, they had her pictures. They had her information. And I hurried up and alerted Facebook and stuff like that. Now, she doesn't have our plan. Now, I do. And if anybody even cusses on my or says a bad word or something on my social media, they alert me right away and will not let it be put on my page. And that's what I do through my social media. Okay? But I never know what's going on with my social security number or my daughter's social security number. But here's what's nice. Not only are they protecting you, but they're going to do whatever it takes, work as long as it takes, for as long as it takes, okay, until you're back to pre-theft status, okay? And that's basically what this is, okay, until you're back to pre-theft status. Now, how much does this cost? The reason why we're going to go over real quick the cost is because this is simple. $24.95 per month. Okay, no contracts, co-pays, deductibles, or termination fees for a family legal plan. Okay, a family identity theft plan, $24.95. Okay, month to month. Okay, year to year. That's all it is. An individual legal, $24.95, but an individual identity theft means just them and nobody else, $9.95. What does this mean? That means if you get both of them for the family, a combo plan, they're going to only charge you $49.90 a month. If you get the individual, get them both, it's only going to be $34.90 a month. Now, why is this a good thing? Because that is less than $2 a day to protect you and your family. You, your domestic partner, all your kids under the age of 26, living at home, military, or college with no kids of their own. And guess what? They're protected, okay? That's all it is. We don't lie, cheat, or steal on anybody. They call up, great. Now, say some people are like, well, what if I don't use it all the time? Guess what you can use? Our company went one step further and does a thing called Member Perks, okay? Member Perks is this. It's about $2,000, maybe $2,600 in savings per year from everywhere from grocery stores to local stores to nationals to stores online to where you get discounts, savings, freebies, whatever's going on. If you go to those places, you go right under your phone. This is all in the app too. And say you want to go to Sam's or Kohl's and you want to get your membership through Sam's, okay? You get your membership through Sam's and you get a discount. They're constantly changing. I get books. I even get college books on there, okay? I've had home and garden stuff. Everybody knows I do my garden stuff. Everybody's like, where do you get your stuff? Why do you get it cheaper? That's because I go into my local stores and I use the coupons they put in the back and I just show them my phone and I get those coupons. All that for $2 a day every month, okay? That's how much I pay for mine, $49.90, and I never have to worry about it again. This is what we offer. This is who we are. And that's what makes it great. Now, that we went over that. Now, that's all that took less than actually 15 minutes, okay? And I went over it kind of fast and everything else, but I was going over it so you could see that you just need to talk to people and just tell them what it is, all right? And then when they get it, they can sign up on your website. Me, I actually have Jeffjansen.wearelegalshield.com. I simplified mine to JEFFJANSEN.org, okay? And then I also did it with several like trucking things and stuff like that, which we'll do later on. Don't panic. This is not for the open masses. This is just for my team right now. I wanted to go over that. I can tell you right now in my head, I made 2 mistakes, okay? The mistakes I make is sometimes I go too fast or I complicate things. And I don't mean to, and we all get into that. It's because what I do is I believe in it, and I'm more of a teacher. I like to teach and train. I'm more on the networking side, which means I love to bring people on, but I like them to know what we offer, so we're never telling anybody anything that is a lie, okay? So when we do things, we do it month to month. Now, with an associate, when the associate comes on, we go over all the plan with them. An associate costs $99, one-time fee. Rest of their life, they're a Legal Shield associate, okay? But in order to make money with it, you actually have to have a membership. So you still have to have your membership. But what's nice, as long as you keep your membership, and no matter what you're doing, you're always going to get paid with the work that you do, okay? And that's another thing that I fear sometimes we don't tell people is, look, we can only do so much. We're here to help. Somebody like me, I do these to help, okay? And I do it to help my team. I do it to help the people around me. But the whole point is this. I can only help as far as people will ask me to help. I can do 3-way calls. I can do face-to-faces. I can do Zooms. I can do things to where I go and talk to somebody. I love sitting down with people at coffee shops and stuff and talking to them, going over everything. I can even get on and tell them how to call into the lawyer for the first time. I can help get their system set up, which it doesn't cost. It's really, really simple. It's about ready to go off. Okay? And what that means is, okay, so an associate has to get their stuff set up. Great. As a member, I tell my members, I call them up, make sure they're okay. I asked them, and I was like, did you call and ask what a will is? What's the difference between a will and a healthcare power of attorney? What's the difference between a will and a trust for minors? And with my members is what I have them do is like, do me one favor. Monday morning, Tuesday, whatever day it is, call into the law firm for me. They'll call you back. I promise you're going to call you back within 4 business hours, and you're going to have a lawyer on the phone to explain that to you. Why do I have them do that? Because right away they see that the lawyers not only call them back on their time, not the lawyer's time, but on your time, but they're also explaining the things that you need to explain. They're not rushing you. And then they ask you if you have any other questions or anything else to go over. Okay? Because remember, you can ask them whatever you want, over anything you want, and they're on your time. And I promise you, the lawyers that I've used from Chicago and St. Louis and Iowa and Ohio and Indiana, those are the ones I've used also in Florida. They're always polite. They're always nice. They're always informed. They're always asking me if I understand it, if I need, because I don't understand legalese, okay? and neither does anybody else. And then we have our referral attorneys, which are separate from our main attorneys. Okay, we have about 11, we have a lot of them, okay, in every city, town, and state, and we're always taking on more, so I can't give exact numbers on those. But those attorneys are just as good, and they all have to be vetted, okay? They all have to follow a strict guideline. They all get, every time that you use them, you're going to get stuff sent out. I'm going to get stuff sent to me. You know, everybody's got to evaluate them to see how they're doing, so they're not just, you know, saying they're working for us and then not doing anything. They're getting evaluated, okay? Their performance is what makes them who they are, and that's what makes them some of the best in the world, okay? And I say this, whenever you're going up to somebody, 3 things. Hey, I have something important I'd like to show you. You may or may not be interested. It'll take about 15 minutes, okay? And when you tell them this and you go over all this stuff with them, okay, more than likely they may get back to you. They may answer. It may take you about 6 times. You might have to talk to somebody about 6 or 7 times because people have not been trained to use the legal system, all right? However, since there's nobody out there that can really compete with Legal Shield other than law firms, you have to understand this. Every state, you have to be licensed. As a lawyer, you have to be licensed in the state that you're practicing in. Since I'm from Quincy, Illinois, that means we have Iowa, Missouri, and Illinois, and a lot of lawyers are in all 3 of those states, but they have to have license in all 3 states. What's nice about Legal Shield is we are certified authorized. All of our law firms can provide coverage in all 50 states. Then up in Canada, each province and territory, we can provide coverage for all of the wonderful people of Canada. So not only are we protecting North America, we're also protecting our neighbors to the north, Canada, with all the legal situations. Now, how many people need to go up across the border or do stuff like that, okay? You start getting into the trucking industry, maybe getting into the business industry. These things matter a lot more. I have a lot of people from my area, they hunt up in Canada. There's all types of hunting up there, and we come from a huge hunting. We're talking about millions of people in this area, and these states and several others around us. They do a lot of hunting. So, you know, knowing Canadian laws pretty well. Now, just knowing the laws of each state is even better, okay? Our job is to make sure everybody's lives are easier, make sure you're not guessing, and to keep you out of the court system, to keep you out of court. Our first mission is not to go to court. Our first thing is to keep everyone out of court by answering questions and making sure everybody is educated on what they need to know. People that say, well, I didn't like them, right? That's because one nice thing about us, and this is where you can tell this to them, you don't want to go too much into detail. If one of our referral attorneys doesn't work, they can call back into the main law firm and ask for a different one. They can keep doing that till they get somebody they like. Because eventually what happens is they will find somebody they like, or they're going to realize that what they're being told is the same answer across the board. It's like going in. If somebody tells me I have cancer and I'm going to get a second opinion. Okay, good. Well, you have cancer again. Well, I want a third opinion. Oh, you got cancer. Okay, fourth. Okay, but, you know, they don't charge you anything for that. But we can do that. And like I said, we want to make sure we take care of our members. It's just like Craftsman Tools. They used to be able, you know, lifetime guarantee on our tools. What do? They take the tool. If something happens with the tool, you take it, they give you a brand new one. Legal Shield has that great customer service. We have that great people, person to person. Not only can they come to us associates, but they can also come and they can talk with our corporate office if there's a problem or something. They can work out payments, or, you know, if something's going on, okay? What's one of the greatest things about our company. Now, take what I say with a grain of salt. Like I said, I'm not going to lie to anybody. And I'm going to improve how I teach everybody. And the teachings are only going to go for about 10 minutes each time I get on here. Or if there's a conference of some sort, we'll put everybody on here, which is fine. Today, I just wanted to go over a little bit of everything with you to let you know that this is your business. Okay? What you do with your business is up to you. How you do your business. Me, I read every day. I basically get in on Zoom calls. I get in on the stuff like this with everywhere from Brian to Rich. You know, I stay up to date on what's going on, okay? There's a lot of people that may get into the business, but, well, I didn't make no money. Okay, no one said that this was a get rich quick. At no time has anybody promised that. I've heard every excuse in the world. I've even had people just flat out lie. And when you get around somebody like that, that's when you got to cut them loose. Like, you know what? That's fine. You did nothing wrong. If they don't wish to partake or do what is necessary to build their business, then that's on them, not you. You did your best. As long as you're there for them, you can help them, get them in touch with me, you know, do 3-way calls, you know, train them, show them different books they can read, you know, get them onto our corporate calls, then everything will be a lot better. But if they choose to be like, if they get in and they think, well, I'm just going to get in, I sign a paper, I'm going to make money, then they are under a false belief. That's not how this works. There is nothing free to this except our great membership and being an associate. And what's great about that is because you can build as big as you want in Legal Shield. No one's going to stop you. But if you come in and you choose not to talk to anybody, not to view anything, not to go to any events, you know, not to even try to talk to anybody, and and then all of a sudden you're going to look and be like some people, you know what, I've been in this business. I'm like, good, what did you do? Did you go to, well, no, I didn't go to no events. Okay. Did you make a list? Well, no, I didn't make a list. Okay. Did you call me and do a three-way call? Well, no. Okay. So where did you get this idea that by doing nothing you get something? That's not how this works. A little effort on people's parts can make somebody very wealthy if you do it for a long period of time. And like I tell everybody else, it is your business. Just like if a doctor opened up a doctor's office, you know, it's going to take 5 to 10 years before they have a really good profit coming in. That's a doctor. That's opening a brick and mortar place, you know, where you got rules and laws, and you've got, you know, you've got to get certified for this, and you have to have licensing. Okay, same with a lawyer. Same with a contractor, okay? It may take 2 or 3 years. Legal Shield's the same way. The more you do, the faster you grow. It's still going to take years to get to where you want to be. But if you're looking at all these other people like, man, I wish I could be, you know, no, they earned it. They started from the bottom where you and I are. All they did was talk to people. And we're hitting less than 5% of the population right now. 365 million people in the United States, 58 million people in Canada. And I don't even know how many are in the United Kingdom. And we're hitting less than 5% in the United States. That still means that 9 out of 10 people have never heard of us, don't have us, or no one's approached them. So if you don't approach anybody, but you're seeing other people grow, it's because they are. Or they're basically listening to the uplines, and they're doing three-way calls. They're having coffee with people. They're having tea. They're having water. They're going to the gym and maybe saying, hey, have you ever heard of this? Hey, you got your will done today. Okay, something simple that everybody needs. You could be at a funeral of a family member and think, man, they don't got their, you know, and then all of a sudden you hear all the gossip and everything else, and you think back in your head is, if I would approach them, this gossip wouldn't be there right now. You could see somebody that may have gotten a wreck or a speeding ticket, and all of a sudden they're paying hundreds of dollars, and you're kind of laughing like, hey, you should have slowed down. Well, actually, you probably should have told them about Legal Shield and gave them that choice to whether pay $127 or get it thrown out of court. You see, that's how I look at it. We're here to help people. We're not here to make fun of anybody. We're not here to play the bashing games. People are great, and we must always know that. But within Legal Shield, it's like anything else. If you do a little, it could get you a long way. You do a lot, it's going to get you even further. If you do nothing, it won't do any good for anybody. So we're always making sure we have to take care of people while we're doing it, okay? So if anybody has any questions, I'm going to turn that stuff around, and if you guys got any questions, I will go look at it right now, and we'll see if there's any questions going on here. Oh. All right. Hey, Michelle. Hey, Lonnie. All right. So, I don't have any questions right now, but this is what we're going to start doing these from, okay? And the whole idea is this. We are nothing but legal. And we are letting people know who we are. We are not like every other network marketing company out there because there's nobody else like us, because we don't have a product other than we have law firms that work only for us on our behalf and our members that make sure to take care of our members and only our members. Then we have thousands upon thousands of referral attorneys that work for those law firms that will make sure that they all, and basically people pay less than $2 a day to do this, okay? If anybody has any questions, make sure to get up with me. I appreciate each and every one of you. I hope you guys are having a great night, and I'll talk to everybody soon. And let's see if this button will work. Bye now.